new here, please hit the like button, subscribe, so when I post or schedule my life, you'll be amongst the first to get a notification. And by the way, my name is IJ. My channel is still IJ, where we talk about celebrity news, real life situations, tricks, and tips of daily lives. And of course, very soon I hope to be able to share stories with you. So if you do have a story to share, please contact me, and I promise you your story will be kept anonymous. The idea of trying to introduce stories and experiences soon is so we can all learn and relearn, and I do have a few of mine. So by the way, if you're not a subscriber, make sure you subscribe so you get to enjoy some of the surprise gifts I send to my subscribers, unlike most people. You'll be surprised what I could do for you. And as well as you supporting my channel, it doesn't cost you anything. So thank you again. My name is Tell IJ, and I just thought I've just started cooking dinner, but I just want to step in here just for this short live and share this thing I've been we're not surprised, but like the title said, it's about Wendy Williams' son, Kevin Hunter Jr. And of course, we all who follow Wendy. Wendy is an icon, really. And if you're outside the United States, ask anyone from the United States, and I think sometimes, when show was broadcast in many parts of the world, they would be able to tell you. So this is about Kevin Hunter Jr. First, we heard about Kevin Hunter Sr., Wendy's ex-husband, telling us that he's broke, which left some people like me still flabbergasted. Because correct me if I'm wrong, it's not even up to a year they did the settlement with the divorce and all that. So, and Kevin Hunter Sr. always boasted that he was the brain behind Wendy Williams' show. And of course, we also learned allegedly, well, I say allegedly, but it did happen, that he was paid a lump sum. And then there was an agreement in the papers drawn by Wendy's lawyer that should Wendy not be employed in terms of doing a TV talk show or due to ill health or whatever, that the alimony Kevin is currently getting will be severed, will be stopped. So one wonders, Kevin, you were married to this lady for 21 years. You guys ran the show for 14 years. Were you not saving something? Were you not making other plans? Or could you not even repeat the same big genius thing you say you're the brain behind Wendy Williams' show? Could you not redo it? In fact, funny enough, could you not do it with your mistress, Serena, whatever her name is? So what's going on here? So now today, or a few hours ago, we hear that Kevin Jr. is being evicted from his luxury Miami apartment, which we understand that Wendy Williams, the mother, last year very generously paid for his 1 year rent of $100,000, as well as some big deposit. As you all know, when you go to rent, and I understand this apartment is a luxury apartment worth $2 million. So of course, he doesn't own it. He was renting it, or the mother was renting it for him. So now let's think about the timeline, because all this thing with Wendy, which has saddened me personally, I wasn't a crazy fan. I knew about Wendy and Wendy's style, but I couldn't help myself, as my heart and a Christian, not to judge, and I always put this woman in my prayers privately, and kept hoping. Last year, when the family kept spreading rumors, oh, she's well, or she'll be okay, she's in Florida, then we heard Wendy now left Florida and went to New York. And the more I get a few of the news coming from here and there and going across the YouTube streets, you come to recognize something about the timeline. Now, This man broke up his family. I mean, Kevin Hunter Sr. I mean, what he did to Wendy was just terrible. And we know Wendy has always had problems. Then there was a time we had the son gave her an ultimatum to, sober up or sort herself out and all that kind of thing. The son, we understand, is 22 years old. And when they started spreading all this news and we're all kind of confused. Then at the time they said, oh, Wendy will be starting the podcast and all that. And at the time, even Tommy, the brother who seems to try to make every buck at any possible time about the sister, tried to convince some YouTubers that the sister was fine. So we couldn't understand why Wendy left Florida, where she was apparently with her family, and going back to New York. Then earlier this year, when we first heard about Wachovia Bank freezing Wendy's account, I'm not going to lie to you, I have a Wachovia account with my husband, and I said to my husband, even as much as we, what you Americans might term as, well, semi-permanent, if you like, maybe we have to close our account. And I told him, of course, he's not interested. He doesn't know who Wendy Williams is. But now everything makes sense. And I say, well done to Wachovia Bank. Because from what we know, last year, Wendy rented this apartment for the son. And some people, yes, will talk about, oh, why did a 22-year-old need such an expensive apartment, blah, blah, blah. That's another story, and that's their own, palaver. But the thing is, during this time and after the divorce, just before Wachovia froze the account, it would appear from the date which we understand is around March of 2021, was when Wendy Williams rented this apartment for the son for a whole year. And when Wachovia Bank closed or rather froze her account, was in February, earlier, of course, of this year, 2022. And then I do remember personally, correct me anyone in the comment box if I'm wrong, I was watching somewhere where I saw, I think it was Tommy Williams, trying to explain and tell the whole world on YouTube, as he normally does, that he has tried, the whole family has tried to reach out to Wendy, and Wendy is shutting everybody, including her only son, away. And we couldn't understand. And of course, I know we as mothers, we're all different. But it kept me wondering what could really be the reason. And of course, it was around the time when they were swirling the rumor or story that Wendy Williams is now married or married her former fashion jewelry designer, blah, blah, blah. And Tommy tried to give this, how can I say, this notion that everything the family was doing, oh, I love my sister, we just want her to get help, we just want to reach her. And then after about 1 or 2 months, we heard Wendy Williams was able to see her son briefly. Now, the reason I'm mentioning this is, if you go back to the timeline, if you're someone that's been following the news, you will see whoever is the guardian, excuse me, of Wendy is doing a good job. Let's be honest. And apparently, again, there was a time earlier this year when I think it was around summertime when we heard that Wendy Williams' son was being accused of using his mother's credit card to try to withdraw money, and it was stopped. And then the son came out to say, oh, I wouldn't do anything without permission. Now, if you watch, I can't remember the exact words he used, but what I kept saying to everyone was, read the exact words he said, because that didn't mean that he didn't do it. He was just trying to use vocabulary to make himself to look great. So you could see that it was around that time when Wachovia, just a month before his apartment rental expired, was when Wachovia Bank decided to freeze Wendy's account due to unusual or suspicious activities, and quite rightly so. And I do know that some people, the YouTube streets have been kind of speculating, oh, could this be Wendy getting her own back and maybe allegedly pretending she's not well and all that. Well, I'm not a doctor, but what I know personally is that I do sincerely, genuinely pray. Even in my family don't know Wendy, I don't know Wendy. I do that for most people. Is just to lift her and pray that God will bring her out of whatever situation that's going on in her life. She deserves better. We're all human. We are not perfect. And I don't know. What I'm saying is, with the way Kevin Sr., Kevin Jr., even earlier this year, we kept hearing, oh, they will all come out, make comments like Wendy's pushing us away and all that kind of thing. The truth is, poor Wendy was actually probably realizing herself that these people were seeing me as an ATM. And often, as a mother, even before we all started following all this about Wendy, when I hear things like, oh, the son is siding with the father, and that sort of thing, as a mother, I don't know if any of you watching this, it happens to you. I don't know Wendy. I don't know any of these people. But sometimes as a mother, you think, God, how would I endure it if my son is actually, especially after what the father did, betraying his mother with a mistress of over 10 years, lazy mistress, because clearly they're both lazy, because if they weren't lazy, Kevin Hunter Sr. should have had some solid income, because apparently he can pay his medical, he can pay for his car hire or lease, he can pay for his mortgage, he can do all these things. And I thought they claimed he had a barber shop, he's supposed to be into business successfully. I don't know. But what I do know is this. I said, thank God, whatever and whoever and however, Wendy left Florida and went back to New York, because these people are busy or were busy fleecing her. And I'm very disappointed in the son. I'll be blunt. Everybody around YouTube, we all pussyfoot and we all want to be PC. I'm a mother. In fact, my kids are a bit older than Wendy's children. And I say, I was always disappointed when I used to hear or read things about the son being against the mother. Yes, we know Wendy didn't exactly have what you may call a normal smooth life because of all the alcohol or drug thing. But the truth is, as a son and the only son, given what your dad did to your mother, what will make you ever make it so obvious that someone is able to put it in the papers or put it out there online that Kevin Jr. is giving the mom ultimatum or going against the mom, only to find out now how much, of course we knew Wendy was supporting the son, but not to the extent that she paid $100,000 for a whole year's rental plus deposit for you. And you have audacity to be siding with your father. I don't care if your mother had double drug problem or not. You as a son should have been there and should always be there to carry your mother, because one thing I promise you, son, if it was the other way around, no matter what you're doing, we as mothers stand behind and beside our children. We don't give them ultimatum and walk away on them. And so now with the rental expired and being evicted, and apparently this rental expired since February of 2022, but Kevin Jr. for some reason was looking back on all that's been happening during some of them when he and Tommy showed themselves in one clip I saw on YouTube, that they were going or trying to get into the apartment when they lived and nobody was letting them, or when they wasn't answering. If you ask me, looking back, Kevin Jr. and probably the father was egging him on. They were hoping they would wait it out and eventually maybe get that money out of their mom. Because I don't see why Kevin Jr., your mom paid $100,000, you're 22 years old, Apparently, I understand you're a student, son. Yes, you've been raised with, in a rich home with lots of money, but I'm sure also you have some real friends, and you know you should know a little bit about reality or use what they call common sense to know. Okay, my dad is not, clearly your dad hasn't been supporting you. The fact he cannot even pay for that apartment for you tells me that Wendy Williams, your mom, was carrying everything on her shoulders, and yet you all were treating her the way you were. And if you had used a little bit of common sense, you would have tried, by the 6th month, try to think out, either I'm moving to something smaller I can afford, given that my mom, last year, everyone, the whole world knew your mom, Wendy Williams, has been battling with a lot of, whether they're mental or addiction issues or what have you. But no, you all are so kind of disconnected that all you all see from your mom allegedly is just like the provider. She's just got the ATM card and that's it. Because anyone with common sense, I have children, I think they would have had more common sense than that to know, okay, now my rental is ending in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months time. I better start making alternative plans. But no, you started out in the summer, you and your uncle Tommy were trying to embarrass Wendy and talking how she doesn't want to see you and all that. That's the time, my dear, you should have left that apartment, not accrued $70,000 in debt, and for the sake of your mother, try to be, learn to be a bit more practical. But clearly, your mother would have seen that not just your dad using her. We all love our children, but sometimes we know there are some children that end up taking advantage of a situation rather than everybody rallying around your mother with love. So she would know that these people really care for me. And of course, I don't know what Tommy Williams keeps on telling people, trying to embarrass Wendy. Or Wendy turned her back on her father. I read from different channels. Well, I'll make a video about that and I'll try to relate it to some real life issues. So do make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, share, so your friends and family get to know about my channel. And if you're a subscriber, you want to come in when I am going to make a topic about this thing around Tommy claiming that Wendy has abandoned their father, because it's a topic, like I said, I like to bring stories, personal stories relating and personal lessons I try to draw from every situation, even when they are celebrities, they're still human. So if you have something experience you want to share, make sure you come back and see my channel. And just on a one note, Tommy claiming Wendy turned her back on their dad is just for him to try to embarrass Wendy. Poor Wendy, clearly she's been the one carrying the dad as well. And people like Tommy, we know them. You probably have them in your family. They use this excuse, oh, for mom, for dad. And they know that when you're giving, they're taking advantage of what you're giving your dad. In fact, it's indirectly the money they are all living off of. Just like some women out there. I'm not saying all women, don't come for me. I'm not saying all women, but some women who, to my mind, abuse child benefits. You guys call it child support in America. In the UK, it's child benefit, which is very important when two parents are not living together to make sure that children are well looked after. But then we know on the flip side that there are women out there who abuse it. They abuse it and they will request a ridiculous amount that is for the children. Then you find out it's more for mom doing her nails and doing all the things she wants to do, not necessarily for the children. I mean, we saw a good example of 50 Cent son and trying to embarrass him, and the mother who clearly had brainwashed him to believe that the amount of money, which was quite a lot, every month 50 cents was given to the son, was not enough because that is rich. Anyway, I digress. So coming back to Wendy, anyway, we are talking about Kevin Hunter Jr. So with this being said, well, we look and see. All I can say is there are two things, as the divorce paper said. The alimony may either be edited or sort of redone or cancelled. I suspect it will be cancelled because at the end of the day, Wendy is not working. You're not going to ask somebody to pay money from where she's not getting the money. And these people that are supposed to be family, honestly, sometimes family are your worst enemy. Some people are lucky your family can be your best friend. But either way, I say put Wendy Williams in your prayer and ultimately let God protect her. It's sad that when the family should be the ones protecting her, they have been the ones exposing her. And we know that what happened to Wendy was, as far as I'm concerned, I'm not a doctor, but it was very strongly correlated with how Kevin Hunter Sr. betrayed and treated this woman. Not only having that affair, then you have a baby on top and proudly walk out, and you and your mistress driving around in expensive cars paid for by this woman's hard-earned money. Well, my dear, some people say karma is a bee. Who knows? All I can say is, Kevin Jr., find an alternative. Learn. You're not too old yet to learn and relearn how to live according to your means. If you want to live big like your mom, go. I'm glad you're in college, they say. Make sure you get that degree and make sure you aspire and make sure you learn how to work step by step. And as you work, you begin to save and learn that everything in life is a stage. Wendy's your mom, but Wendy doesn't owe you a thing. You're a grown man, just like she's a grown woman. And then at the end of the day, her health is more important, and it's very sad that you, Kevin Jr., cannot even get your father to help foot some of the bill. That says a lot. But I'm very sorry this is happening. But as a mother, it pains me that this woman is somewhere on her own, going through all this, whether she's coherent, incoherent, but something is seriously wrong. That one person, your only child, yet you lose your husband, then you lose, your only child. The relationship seems like it's a bit up and down and up there, and I don't know. I really don't know. All I can do is pray and pray for Wendy, and don't wish this on your worst enemy, because there is more to life than money. And unfortunately, the love that is the most important thing this woman Wendy needs now. I really don't think the family are the ones that should give it to her. With the, it's just sad. It's just sad. Anyway, on this note, I don't want to get sad myself. I don't really know her, but it does get me emotional, and I really don't like that. I mean, she's very, very vulnerable, and unfortunately, if only she had her mom, because we moms, we're always right it out with our children, no matter what is going on. And like I always say, if you're a mother out there, always pray over your children. Okay, prayers do work. Use your prayers and always cover them and prepare and hope for the best. Anyway, on this note, I better stop. I need to cook. I'm tired. I've just been working. And make sure you subscribe, please, to support me, and also so you can enjoy some of the surprise gifts I send to my subscribers. And hit the like button so this video gets to be seen by more people. And please share this with your friends and family so they get to know a bit about me. My name is IJ, and this is my channel, Tell IJ, and it's been a pleasure having you. And if you're watching this on a replay, please leave a comment and let me know where you're watching from. And of course, I'd love to know what you think about all this going on. And above all, don't forget to pray for Wendy and pray for her whole family. God bless you. Bye-bye.